Hello everyone! I've been both excited and terrified to make this video because it's pretty much setting the trajectory of the next few years of my life, both personally and on the internet. Since late last year, I have been in the process of applying to do a master's degree. It's something I've always thought about doing after finishing my Bachelor of Design, but I just needed a bit of time to think about where I was going to go, what I was going to study, and how I was going to pay for it. Thankfully, after finishing my degree, I got a job working as the head of product design and development at a local lifestyle clothing company here in Christchurch, New Zealand. That in itself has actually given me a lot of information and education on working in the industry, what it's actually like compared to what it's like to study it. But it's also given me a perspective on where I feel like I want to go next and where I eventually want to settle in the industry, whether it's in fashion or somewhere else. In some ways, I feel like it is what I want to do, to be a designer. But at the same time, I do also feel quite limited in fashion. Basically, the skills that I studied and graduated with is in product design, apparel design, and development, which in itself is fine, and I think if I did stick to this more, I would find success in my career. However, I've also had a very deep interest in digital technologies and its relationship to fashion and people, and not just its relationship necessarily to using it in the fashion industry, but also to individual creatives, both in a physical sense and in a virtual sense. On the side of my main job in product design and development, I've also been hosting workshops and writing resources for impact education. And what I focus on there is learning about wearable electronics, e-textiles, electronic textiles, and just making approachable, easy to understand resources for all age groups. It has been an experience that I enjoy so much and I find personally very fulfilling, and I want to find more ways that I can explore that further and learn more to help better communicate what I know to others, to help them also make their own projects and, get creative. I am not a professional when it comes to wearable electronics and e-textiles. It's something that I very much learned personally, and I want to be able to focus on that more as I go through my masters. So with all of that considered, I ended up applying for a 2-year master's program at Bunka Gakuen University in Tokyo, Japan. And since then, I have been accepted. By the time this video goes up, I will have been already starting classes. I am currently still in New Zealand, mostly due to issues around travel, the pandemic, and all that fun stuff we're aware of. So within a month of hopefully this video going up, I should be in the process of actually physically being in Japan. The specific master's program that I am studying at Bunka is the Global Fashion Concentration Program. The program itself is taught in English, but everything outside of that classroom and the school and Japan obviously is all in Japanese. I do not speak Japanese, or at least not very well, so at the same time there is an elective I am studying at Bunka to help improve my Japanese language skills alongside my main studies. When it comes to the thesis proposal that I submitted for my application, it relates a lot to digital technologies and its relationship to fashion, whether it is the process of developing fashion, but also the social aspect as well. There is a wee bit more to it, which I hope I can clarify a bit more in future videos. It's going to be a very long video otherwise. I know that now there are a lot more places to actually study master's programs in New Zealand, especially ones that relate to technology and similar fields as to what I want to study at Bunka. But what really drew me to studying in Japan is that I wanted to place myself in a context, or at least in an industry, that is not one that I studied at my bachelor's for. When it comes to myself as a designer, I feel like there is a lot of growth I need to do, and I want to be able to place myself outside of what I'm already comfortable and familiar with. I would also like to gain some more perspective on Japanese fashion, the industry, and the people, especially as I know it is quite different to my own experiences in New Zealand. There's also opportunities that I would like to explore outside of Bunka and while in Japan. I've always loved traveling to Japan, and I am aware that the experience of actually living there is quite different, but I really do want to spend more time there and just explore and get to know more about, where I'm living, and hopefully a bit more about myself as well. For how long I'll be there once I finish study, I don't know. I just want to keep my mind open and just see where things go. Financially, there is a certain degree of risk involved with doing this master's, I will be completely honest with you. I have been saving furiously since finishing my bachelor's degree. I do actually have still part of a student loan to pay off for that. I cannot get another student loan if I am studying abroad, so everything I'm doing from now is out of my own pocket unless I can find other means through scholarships and working. It is quite difficult at the pandemic, so just trying to work all that through at the moment. I am also working on a Patreon at the moment, which I will share more information in the future. I just want to be able to showcase, my experience and my studies, as I think that will be quite valuable, especially in the future. I am also incredibly thankful to have the support that I do as well with my family. I presently have my brother in Japan, which I am very excited to see again since the pandemic started. Regardless of everything, I think just the experience and actually just getting out and seeing what happens, I think all of that in itself is worth the risk. I am very excited to get to Japan. I'm also terrified, but definitely excited. And based on what they told me at the application process, I'm the first New Zealander they've accepted into the program, which in itself is pretty cool. I want to document and share my experience of doing the master's program as much as I can. In a perfect world, I would have started and finished my studies already in Japan, but obviously that is not a possibility. When it came to applying to do this program, I was trying to do research beforehand, finding people who had already studied. The information I got, outside of the people I knew, was quite limited. Which in itself I thought was quite interesting because this is a program that is taught in English. It is approachable for quite a lot of international students like myself. The next few months are going to be quite weird for me, especially the moving process and all of that. So I do think it is leading to good things in the end though. I cannot wait to share more. It is an exciting process amongst all the chaos. So until then, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you very soon. Bye.